Good morning, guys. This is Rusty 78609, finally in Central Texas again. It is 9:16 a.m. Central Standard Time, 69 top-down degrees. Just a beautiful spring day in Central Texas. I'm back home after a 2,400-mile trip living in my Prius for a few days. And as you know, any of you that have traveled anywhere, arriving back home is always nice, because you know where the toilet is. It's not a bucket. I don't have to use a bucket anymore, Toto. So, thanks for the letters, thanks for the comments, and one of the letters had a comment related to my health. It says, Rusty, have you always been so health conscious? Answer, no. But, caveat, but at age 27, after having smoked cigarettes for about 14 years, not many, but I did smoke cigarettes, I quit smoking. I didn't have any reason to quit. Everybody was still smoking, but for some reason I just didn't like it, and I quit. Cold turkey. The next thing I did, within a year of that, was I met an old man out in East Texas that was a kind of a motivational speaker, but he was in his 70s like I am now, and I was in my, I don't know, 30s, or excuse me, I was 28 or 29 when I met him. Anyway, he exercised every day, and guess what I started doing? I started exercising every day. He jogged. I tried jogging, but it didn't turn me on all that much. It was work. I really didn't look forward to it. But what I found was part of the strategy of the aerobics. I can't remember the doctor's name that wrote that book, Aerobics. Part of the strategy of getting yourself up to speed for jogging was to walk a mile under about 18 minutes, and then gradually get faster and faster until you were jogging. Well, what I found was I looked forward to the walking fast, but I didn't look forward to the jogging at all. So over a period of a few years, I eventually just went to walking every single day. And I have done that for the past 41 years. Now, has that helped? Yes. Exercise will help keep you healthy. A good diet and exercise will keep you healthy. However, my diet at that time, I'm sure, was not all that good. All right? I mean, I know I was, well, my weight kind of came down when I started exercising regularly, but not much. I was still a good 20, 25 pounds over what my weight should have been. And then continued that for a number of years. Actually, I continued it up until 1994 when I went in the U.S. Peace Corps. I came out of the Peace Corps and had to go to the island of Oahu to go to the Queen's Medical Center, where they run tests and stuff to be sure you don't have a lot of intestinal parasites and crap. And anyway, while I was there, I was 45 days on the island of Oahu because I was mugged while I was there and left for dead, but that's another story. But when I arrived on the island of Oahu, I weighed 158 pounds. When I went in the Peace Corps 2 years earlier, I weighed 219. Okay? That's a big drop, 50 pounds or more. That's 60 pounds. So, it occurred to me, I felt good. I didn't look worth crap. I was skinny as a rail. My clothes didn't fit very well. Did I become health conscious then? A little bit. I started eating a healthier diet in that I would eat somewhat smaller portions, and I wanted to maintain my weight below 180. For some reason, I picked that number, even though that was a little more than I needed, but I did. And gradually, over a couple of years, I got up to 180, and then I got to 182,468. Well, when I got to 188, I thought, wait a minute, whoa, Hersey. how do we defeat this? Because you develop habits of eating. Everything's a habit. We're habit forming creatures. So I had formed some bad habits. I ate too much. I ate too many large portions. I was eating 3 meals a day. You don't need to eat 3 meals a day. You can if you want to. You can eat 10 meals a day if you want to, but you don't need to. Wants and needs, wants and needs, wants and needs. You want this, but you need that. So gradually, I decided that the only way to get my weight to a comfortable weight where my blood pressure, cholesterol, and all my blood sugars would be at proper levels was to, number one, eat smaller portions, more fruit, more veggies, less bread, less cheese, the things we love, less sugars, totally. I see that guy there? That's my old Rusty in about 10 years. I'll be down riding a bicycle with a pack. He's got everything he owns on that thing, I can tell you that. But having said that, back to the diet. So what I've gotten to in the past 6 years or more, probably 6 or 8 years, I eat fruits for breakfast. I used to have smoothies. Now I just put the fruit in a bowl with a little oatmeal, some chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, stir it around and eat it. You don't have to heat oatmeal. That's all crap. But anyway, so the reason I put oatmeal in there is it's a good soluble fiber, and it helps you poo-poo on a regular schedule. And so does the fruit, but the fruit does a lot of other stuff too. It hydrates your body because it's loaded with water, and it also is a good source of vitamin C and fiber. As to veggies, yes, I try to eat something green every day, even if it's a can of organic cut green beans. I'll just open a can and eat the whole can. Why? Because that's good fiber, and there's a lot of nutrition in cut green beans. It's good for you. And I'll eat the whole can, but I get the unsalted kind. And get that out of the way. But a whole can of cut green beans is about 60 or 80 calories. That's a very small portion. The only reason I go ahead and I just eat the whole can because no sense saving a third of a can or whatever. And sometimes I'll eat green peas. Sometimes I eat broccoli. Sometimes I eat okra. Just a variety of green things. And of course, those are habits I've formed over the last 6 or 8 years. And has it helped? Yeah, my weight when I just weighed this morning. I weighed 164. Okay, so that's 24 pounds from my 188 several years ago. How big is that? That's 3-gallon jugs of water. Okay, a gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. So I lost 24 pounds. 24 divided by 8 is 3 whole gallons. So I can pick up 3 whole gallon jugs of water and realize what I was carrying when I was going walking every day, because I would go walking every single day. And here we are at the post office. I love to check my mail. I don't get mail every day. I get maybe, I don't know, not a letter every 2 or 3 days. But it's just exciting, to me, when I grew up in the country years ago in Kennedy, Texas, we had a P.O. box in town because they didn't have rural delivery back then, but our P.O. box was 192, and I thought it was so neat. You had a key and everything. You had to go check the mail. But anyway, back to the diet. Do what you got to do, folks. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm Rusty, 78609. I live in Central Texas. And if you want to contact me or send a donation, my mailing address is just send it to Rusty P.O. Box 1446, Kingsland, Texas. Kingsland, one word. Kingsland, Texas, 78639. And as far as your diet, folks, you have to form your own good habits. No one can do it for you. My recommendation to make it really simple for anyone that wants to be healthy, eat less. How about that one? Is that hard? No. Drink plenty of water. Take deep breaths. Walk, stretch. That's it from Dr. Rusty. Having said that, guys, enjoy your day. Adios. Thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios. Bye-bye. Buy USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. Take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Why? It relieves stress. Do it a few times every day. Don't hyperventilate. Just every now and then, just take a deep breath. Makes you feel better. Stretch, walk. And, you're not going to lose, you will lose very little weight exercising. A lot of people think they can exercise their weight loss. They can't. You'll lose a little weight through exercise, but you're going to lose your most weight by what? Eating less. Eat less. Eat less. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.